Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, I went to the doctor. Took my wife to the doctor.
So you spent your
Had a
vacation going to doctor's appointments?
Yeah, I had a bum knee I told you about. Yeah, that didn't get sorted out until like yesterday.
So give me the scoop on that. What happened?
It's like a hyperextension injury, and it was like all swole up, and like it's like a very sharp pain.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to take like anti-inflammatories and lidocaine patches, and I had to actually walk around with a cane for a day.
Oh man.
So it was yeah.
How did you were you doing something when it happened, or what were you doing?
It was just with work, I had to see this brace. I don't know if you can see this. I had to wear this brace.
I saw it for a
on my
second.
knee.
Yeah. So you were just walking around and pop.
No, I was working inside of one of the printing machines, and I guess I got it at a weird angle, and it
Like twisted?
my knee like overextended itself.
That sucks.
Yeah,
How's it
it
feel
was
now?
very painful. Yeah, it feels much better. Today was actually the first day I didn't take any medication or use the brace or anything. So like, yeah, it's like so from last Thursday to yesterday, it's been like out of whack. And today's like the first day it actually felt pretty good.
Nice. Does anyone know what episode we're on? 274? Hold on. Check in.
Yeah.
274.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah, the last one was 273.
Nice. That's how numbers work. Get the stream going. Confirm. Go live.
Reggie's eating peanuts again.
Reggie likes to take this time to feed himself.
Yeah. I got raspberry iced tea.
Raspberry iced tea.
Yeah. Like Arizona raspberry iced tea.
Oh, you think you fancy?
Yeah. Yeah, let me get this over here. Right,
Reggie loves to eat, and Rob comes for show and tell.
you see
Look what I got.
The yellow M&Ms?
No,
Oh, there they are.
I think he's gonna show us yellow M&Ms, guys.
Hey, these muffins over
Pretend
here.
like you're surprised. Pretend like it blows your mind. Yellow M&Ms.
These are better than.
So cool.
Can you see that?
Wait, they're peanut M&Ms. They're not. You called them yellow M&Ms.
Yellow M&Ms.
Can you give me the yellow M&Ms, please? I would like the yellow ones. Yeah, I get it. There's different color packaging.
Do you have the orange one?
That's peanut butter, bitch.
Fuck yeah.
I know my M&Ms. You got some candy this week, and you couldn't pay me to eat that.
I kept eating them, and they got better.
Sour Punch Bites with the tropical flavors? Fuck that. I'm not a tropical fruit flavor kind of guy. Hey.
Rob's a tropical fruit.
I'm a southern fruit. What'd you guys think of your portraits?
I liked
as
it.
Always. Felt the same as always.
Oh, it was a lot of fun to do those, and the coloring. It's the first time I've done that was on those, so it was a good time. I should have gotten them to put in the stream. Oh well. Oh, there's that guy at your house, Reggie.
Yeah.
Mr. Senor Motorcycle.
Somebody just delivered the weed. No?
Is that your bag of M&Ms that I hear?
Yeah. Trying to open it. I just trimmed my nails today.
What? He can't grab the bag because he trimmed his nails.
He can't use his Wolverine hand.
My little fat nubby fingers can't open it.
I got it.
I'm gonna politely ask you to mute if you're gonna rifle through a bag of M&Ms. What's up, some dude? You came just in time for Rob to pop a bag of M&Ms, the yellow M&Ms as he calls them, not peanut, yellow, and jam a few down his little mouth there. God damn!
So I'm at 41 followers now.
Can you
I
see
need
the
9
dog?
more.
Yes, I can see the dog. I swear, that's all this is. That's the problem with having a camera for Rob. It just turns into show and tell. He's like, he gets out. He's like, okay, what do I have around here? What can I show him?
They can't say this is a fake dog. This is a real dog.
I would never accuse you of having a fake dog.
Yeah,
I only accuse people that actually have fake dogs of having fake dogs.
I know dogs.
And that's a real dog. Dawson has a fake dog. You don't like that?
I don't like that.
I know you guys like that one so much.
Nope, don't like it.
I like it.
Where'd Reggie go? You showing us more stuff?
Can you see what this is?
Is that a
Cool Darth
clone?
Maul.
Is that a Clone Wars
Yeah.
Darth Maul Funko Pop?
Yes. Yeah, Darth Maul. I just got him.
Cool.
Look at this guy. Just what else you got lying around there, Rob? What else is within arm's reach?
Can't see it.
I also love that
can't see that.
I can't see what he holds up.
Lidocaine patch 5%.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I put on my knee.
Your bubble knee,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, that's enough show and tell.
All right, are we ready to get started?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, let's do this. 3, 2. It's Rob and Brent and my Reggie dude, and don't forget it also features Dawson too. We gonna give you all the dope reviews, but first we'll hit on all the movie news. Cha-ching, cha-ching, box office due. In between the news and the reviews, there's not a lot that we don't do, so turn the volume up, cause we coming through. Put your headphones on and tie your shoes. Jackman and Grant, we got all the views. We're like Brando and Godfather 2. We're gonna make a podcast you can't refuse. This is the Cinema Chat Podcast, and we know a lot about movies. Welcome back to the show, everyone. It's another episode of Cinema Chat Podcast with Rob and Brent and Reggie, featuring Dawson. I'm Brent.
I'm Rob.
And Reggie
You're
just
muted,
put,
Reggie.
just put his headphones on and he's just fucking professional as shit. He's just,
I'm Reggie.
do I need to take that from the top, or do we just fucking
Nah,
go
just
with
go
it?
with it. Just go with it. Featuring Dawson.
And Dawson's here too. What's up?
I'm here. Hi.
Hi, Andy.
Hey.
We're off to a killer start this week. Later on in the show, we're going to be reviewing Project Power on Netflix, starring Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But before we get there, we like to talk a little bit about some news. We also like to talk about our week. So, I got a question for you guys, and I want answers immediately following this song. What did we watch this week? Let us give you a peek. We'll get to the news real soon. first, listen to this little tune. Give us the attention we seek while we tell you what we watched this week. Tell them, Rob. What did you see? Tell them. They want to know. If you don't dance when that song comes on, then the host you identify with most is Reggie. Because Reggie did not dance and the rest of us did. But Rob, what'd you see this week? What'd you see the last 2 weeks since you were gone last week, you bubble knee bitch?
Nah, I haven't been watching anything. Just keeping up on the anime every week, the usual. And that's about it. You know, like Black Clover, and they have this new one called A God of High School. Have you seen that one, Reggie?
I have not, no.
Yeah, you should check it out. And, Boruto. There's the other one, No Guns Life, second season.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah,
no, I haven't.
Yeah?
No, I have not. I'm sorry. No, I haven't seen that. Just a lot of anime, huh?
Yeah, just keeping up on the anime.
It sounds like there's a lot of it. Because every time you come on here, you have a different one that you've been watching, and I've never heard of any of them.
Yeah, none of them. It's like,
It's never like Attack on Titan or JoJo's Bizarre or whatever, or Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon, or it's never any of those that I've actually heard of. It's all
Well, I used to watch that Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Heroes, I think is the new one, and it got a little bit overboard, so I was like, I'm not interested in that. But there's plenty of other stuff to see. You know, I never was into the Pokemon anime. They have like Monster Girl Doctor and Peter Grill Sword Art Online. The Misfits of Demon King Academy, Fire Force Season 2, that's a good one. There's Food Wars. I don't know if you've heard of Food Wars.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, Food Wars. That's
Wars,
on its third series, right?
Hey, Brent, you know who's in that?
Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's.
Yeah, he is in Food Wars.
Fucking sick, bro.
It's that close. It's that close.
I figured Reggie would have seen some of these or keeping up on these.
I mean,
Keep it up on these?
some of them, like, I have been watching. I finished Seven Deadly Sins, that new season. I started watching Baki, but I don't think I'm going to finish this last season. I don't know. And then, like, I did watch Japan is Sinking or whatever. I started watching it, but then I got to like 3 episodes in. I was like, this is just too depressing. Like,
I got 2 episodes
too
in, and I couldn't watch it anymore.
I was like, I felt like I was getting PTSD watching that show. You know, like I have to go to counseling because it is just grim. It's like Grave of the Fireflies times 10, and I was like, I can't do this to myself.
Times 10? I've
Yeah,
never felt more disconnected from this show than I do right now.
You guys should start a cartoon podcast.
Yeah, when's the Reggie and Rob anime podcast?
The Saturday morning cartoon podcast.
I mean, we could no, or get me out on it.
Yeah.
Reggie, what'd you watch?
I watched. I've been watching mostly shows because a bunch of shows are coming back to Netflix. I started the 3%, which is one of my favorite shows that Netflix is. I don't know if it's a Netflix original or if they're just distributing it for this like Brazilian show or whatever. But I really love it. I've been watching that. I binge watched all of the final season of Clone Wars. Finally, I'm late to that, but I finally finished Clone Wars. And then I watched this movie, Rogue Warfare. Do not watch this movie, you guys. It's horrible. It's like one of those movies that is so bad that it's not even so bad it's good. It's just bad it's offensively bad. So
is this Megan Fox movie?
No, William Lee, who was in Altered Carbon. It's like some military action movie where like this guy gets captured. He gets captured, and this elite team is trying to get him. And they're like in some Middle Eastern, nondescript Middle Eastern country, and the terrorists that they have playing them are so cartoonish that it's like it's just horrible. Like, don't watch it. So that's what I've been watching this week. Oh, also New Legends of Monkey, which I started watching because I just like Netflix kept saying that I might like it, so I was like, well, let me watch an episode, and then I watched like all 2 seasons, and they were right. I did like it.
The algorithm got you.
Yeah, the algorithm was right for a change.
Dawson?
I watched a couple things this week. I'm a little over halfway done with the new Netflix documentary High Score. It's a video game documentary. Just came out this week. I'll probably finish it tomorrow, but yeah, it's great. It's really good. If you've ever played a video game, watch it. You'll enjoy it. Each episode has a different theme. They go like console war, and that turns into like EA Sports and sport games, and it's really cool. It's definitely worth watching. I watched the first episode of Lovecraft Country on HBO. It's a Jordan Peele, J.J. Abrams produced TV show on HBO. So we got some conflicting interests here with Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams. But
who's conflicted?
It's really good. So if you have HBO, watch it. I don't want to spoil much, but like the first like 45 minutes are really, really uncomfortable. But that's good. It sets up kind of the rest of the show, and then the monsters kick in, and it's like a whole different show. It's weird.
Wait, but there's monsters?
Yeah, Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft.
Spoiler.
Like the opening scene, like the guy's having a dream, and he sees like Cthulhu, and he sees aliens, and he sees UFOs, and he sees this. He's having a nightmare or a dream or whatever. And then they go to Lovecraft Country, and they find out it's real. Yeah, so it'll be good. It's gonna be really good. And I decided because one of my best friends, he gets very angry every time the movie gets brought up. So I was like, you know what? I've never seen Logan Lucky, so I'm going to watch it this week. And I watched Logan Lucky this week.
Don't do it.
And I don't know what you guys are talking about. That movie's great.
Shut your lying whore mouth.
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
All right. Well, we made it 273 episodes, and this is the end of the show. So it was a good run. We love you guys, but I just can't continue doing this show at this point.
That's what did it. That's what did it.
See you later.
That's all, folks. It's over, Johnny. It's over.
It's all Andy's fault.
You don't like that movie. Get out.
I did. I liked it. I even told my dad to watch it. I'm like, you should watch this. You'll probably like it.
Well, there's no accounting for taste. All right. Did I talk
7.5 out of 10.
What?
You're trolling us.
That is not a real score.
You know what? I'd watch it again. I'd watch it again tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I'd watch it tomorrow. I liked it.
I don't know what to do with myself right now.
That's why I didn't tell you my score earlier this week. Yeah. I told you I was watching it.
That's it, fellas. Show's over.
All right. Did I talk about speed cubers last week?
Yes.
Okay. So I couldn't remember if I watched that this week or last week. I haven't watched any movies this week. I did watch a couple things on Netflix. I watched the first episode of Teenage Bounty Hunters. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I need to watch a couple more episodes. I will report back and let you guys know what I think about that.
What is that about?
It's these two high school girls. They're twins, and they go to like some sort of religious high school, prep school type thing, and they sort of happen into becoming bounty hunters, sort of by dumb luck. They fall into it. So like I said, I'm only through the first episode, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. As has been documented on the show previously, I have a thing for teenage shows ever since I was a kid, all the way up until now. I don't know why I like them. I still like them. It's odd, but I do. But I'll get back to you on that one.
Maybe you should say you have a thing for young adult content. Never mind.
They're in high school, Reggie. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Young adult. I mean, those books go down to like 10 years old, so might want to maybe not do that. The other thing that I did watch was I watched one episode of this documentary series called Unwell on Netflix, and it's about each episode tackles one of the like health fads that everyone says is good for you. It turns out they're probably not all that great for you. And the one that we watched, Molly and I, was about adults that drink breast milk. And it's a bit of an odd one. It was strange, and I don't like the content, but it's an interesting show. Like I'll probably watch a few more of them. I didn't look to see what the other ones were. That one, I was just like, adults drinking breast milk, that's odd. But all these people pay like absorbent amounts to like buy black market breast milk, and like one woman gets like $20 for 8 ounces of breast milk, and it's like this dude's like pumping iron, trying to get buff and putting breast milk into his shakes and shit. It's weird. It's odd. But yeah, I watched that. So a couple Netflix shows, no movies, but all right, we're ready to get into movie news.
So you all have kids. Have you never tried breast milk?
No.
Just curious.
No.
Not a chance.
Not once. Rob
Rob is awfully quiet over there.
No, nothing.
Rob probably saved the placenta and ate it.
Yeah. That'd be gross. But what I do want to mention before we moved on was I wanted to give you thanks, Brent, for doing those Vinchat Void episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really entertaining, and I appreciate the effort. And I think the whole community appreciates what you're doing while we all wait for Finn's return. Hopefully he's all good, and then all the boys will get back together again. And this is a good way to hold over until they do come back. So thanks for all your work.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't want to take too much credit, though, because there have been a lot of people that have chipped in and done the hardest bit of work, which is listening to the episodes and telling me or going ahead and telling me what clips. And for those of you who don't know, I'm on VentChat, and we are on a hiatus right now for several months. I guess a couple months at least by the time we get back. And we've been putting together like best of shows. But listeners from the community have been going through shows that I asked them to go through and pulling stuff and sending me times, and I've been putting it all together. So I think while I am spearheading it and coordinating it, most of the hard work is being done by members of the community. So I don't want to take too much credit for it, but I will take a little credit. I'll take a little credit.
Cindy, the news is on!
Insightful.
Good news.
If the headline is big enough, it makes the news big enough.
Timely.
The news goes on for
24 hours a day.
Well prepared.
You like Huey Lewis on the news?
Well, I got some bad news for you.
Do you want the Aladdin news or the Aladdin news?
The Aladdin news?
This is movie news. All right, we got some shit to talk about. And first up on that list of shit to talk about is Blumhouse is developing 8 different movies that are going straight to Amazon Prime over the course of the last 4 months of 2020 and all of 2021. So by the end of 2021, we're going to have basically like an 8-film anthology of Blumhouse movies that are going straight to Amazon Prime. As someone that likes horror movies and enjoys typically what Blumhouse does, which is make movies on the cheap that turn a good profit. Like, I think this is a good deal for them. It's a good deal for Amazon Prime. But more importantly, Reggie, I think you might agree with me. This is good for fans of horror movies.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good deal for fans of horror movies because I think Blumhouse, for the most part, puts out decent, pretty to fairly good horror movies. I think the biggest problem with horror movies is there's a lot of them, and most of them are not that good, to be honest. Like, I think if you went, like good to bad per genre, horror probably has the worst showing of that, and Blumhouse putting out a bunch of them together is really good because, I think people love horror. Just look at the fact that Shudder is still around, and they're still doing really pretty well considering like their whole genre is horror. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that we're gonna get more horror.
Yeah. What about you, Rob? Are you happy to hear that Amazon Prime is gonna have 8 Blumhouse movies?
No.
No, I'm not.
That's a fact.
No.
Dawson?
Yeah,
what about
I'm
you?
for it. I'll watch them.
You gonna watch all 8 of them?
Maybe.
We're gonna
If
review.
the first couple suck, then I probably won't watch. But
We're gonna review all of them for Cutting Room Floor.
That's I bet you they're all gonna be like jump scare, scream queen movies.
You know what I think it'll be? I think they'll all sort of have something different to offer. Because I think since Blumhouse is doing it, I think they're all going to connect in some way. But I think that they want to show the diversity of the genre. I don't think they'll make 8 movies that are carbon copies of each other. So I think there'll be a paranormal. I think there'll be a slasher. Like, I think there's going to be a variety of different subgenres of horror in these 8 movies. And I'm here for it. And, over the course of the next 16 months, that's a movie every 2 months, I'm down. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You know what else I'm down and here for? Ben Affleck coming back to the DCEU as Batman.
Yes.
We all thought he was done. We thought he hung up the cape and cowl. He's coming back for the Flash movie, but they're gonna have Michael Keaton. I don't know if that's been confirmed. Has that been confirmed, or is that still just a rumor?
I think that's pretty much confirmed.
I think so.
Yeah.
So you got that. You've got, and Reggie, you're muted, by the way. I saw you maybe trying to talk.
Yes.
you got Keaton, you've got Affleck, you've got Arpats. Now we just need Christian Bale back. Get them all in there. Give me Christian Bale too. Give them all to me. Just give them all to me. Don't shake your head at me.
he's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it. But at least we have Affleck. What's that, Reggie?
I said, who's not going to do it?
Christian Bale.
Well, Christian Bale has said that he regrets not reprising the role for Batman in the new movies. Because apparently he was asked, and he said he didn't want, and he turned it down.
When did he say that?
I read it a while ago, a couple of years ago. Like he said after watching like what Ben Affleck did, he said he regretted it.
Probably would have been good if we covered that in the show. The movie podcast that we do. We probably should have talked about that.
I know. It was a long time ago. It wasn't really. I don't know if it was ever really relevant to like movie news or something like that.
You know, I'm an Affleck guy, so any opportunity I have to see him and stuff, I'm down with. The idea that they have for this Flash movie seems cool. Getting people to come back, doing shit like that, seems pretty awesome. It's cool. I like it. I'm down for it. Give all the Batmans. Is Adam West still alive? He's alive, right?
No, he's dead.
Edit that out. Someone edit that out of the podcast.
Someone.
Please.
That's you.
Podcast elf, do it.
I don't know how to do that. I just hit a button and it goes. I don't know what's going on. In other DC news, Ray Fisher sent out a tweet. He played Cyborg, for any of you that don't know who he is. That there's an independent third party that is doing an investigation into the Justice League set and its toxicity during reshoots. So if you remember, there were a couple people that came out and talked about, after Joss Whedon took over, how there was like an abuse of power between the production and the actors, and it wasn't exactly the dopest set to be on whenever they were shooting the reshoots. So apparently Warner Brothers hired someone to come in and perform a little investigation. Now, I don't know what the end result of that is. Like, what are they hoping to, I guess not hoping to find, but what are they planning to do with what they find, I guess would be my question. I don't know what the end game is.
Yeah, that is kind of curious because I don't know. Well, some of the people still are working at Warner Brothers and working with Warner Brothers, so I guess to that extent it might have some sort of effect on things because, it's good to keep them on notice if that atmosphere is still there. But then, I don't know if Joss Whedon has anything with Warner Brothers or DC.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was thinking.
It might just be one of those. It's good to know what's going on so that people. So, you can't fix a situation if you don't know how, it happened, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what the. Did you guys hear that? Can you guys hear the sound?
What sound?
Like static?
No, you can't hear it. Okay. I was going to see if something worked, but it didn't work, so continue. I didn't think it was going to play right then, and you guys didn't hear it anyway, so ultimately what happened is I wound up looking crazy because I did something that I thought was going to get into the show when I wasn't expecting it, and you guys didn't hear it anyway. So I would have been better off just not talking about it. But here I am, and I don't know how to get out of this. But yeah, Justice League set, toxic. Some dude heard it. They can't hear it on Skype. Okay, well, oh well.
I forgot we were on Twitch. Hello, Twitch.
It's gonna come in on the podcast. You guys will hear. It was an alert sound.
Oh, I'll hear that.
Okay.
That I was gonna use, but whatever. Anyway, I don't know what they're gonna do. It seems odd to go back, and I guess you just want to know. You said Joss Whedon doesn't have anything with them coming up. Maybe if if they find out something, it'll keep them from hiring him in the future. Maybe they just want to make sure they're not getting back into bed with someone that they don't want to, or maybe they plan on using him for something and they want to, dot their I's and cross their T's before they do. I don't know. Ray Fisher seemed happy about it because he seems to think he's going to be vindicated in what he said.
Yeah, because I know like a lot of the fans are kind of split on things because there are a bunch of people who are like, Joss Whedon is a bit of a creep and like this is not new information, but it's just like, I don't know, whenever Joss Whedon's problematic behavior comes up, it's like it's always new to somebody. But like then there are other people who are like, well, Ray Fisher, why don't you explain what you're talking about instead of just being all vague and stuff? And I guess the reason for him being vague is because he wasn't at liberty to say everything because maybe there was going to be an investigation or, I don't know, some sort of litigation of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe his representatives were going to have to do something legal or something. I don't know. So
yeah.
Now we're at a point where I guess we're all going to find out what's happening. And then, like when you consider what's going on it's not movie stuff, but like what's going on with the whole Ellen situation, it does seem like in Hollywood there's a lot of toxic behavior behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think, obviously it's always been there. I just think people are feeling empowered now to speak out against what's happened, which hasn't always been the case because, people get blackballed. And, you've heard story after story, whether it be through the Me Too movement and then now expanding out to other items and other people. It just, it shows you just how prevalent it kind of is. And I don't know exactly what was going on with Justice League, but I think there's no shortage of shitty human behavior in Hollywood. So, and we're here to talk about it. Another thing that we're here to talk about is Olivia Wilde is in talks to direct a Spider-Woman movie. Now, I know nothing about Spider-Woman, but I know Olivia Wilde recently had her directorial debut with a movie called Booksmart, which I thought was fantastically funny. So I'm excited to see what she has coming up. I like it. Another female director getting the chance to helm a female-led movie. I like it. I like all of that. Now, here is where I need you nerds to tell me about Spider-Woman. Is she basically Spider-Man, but a girl? Is that what we're going with here? Okay.
No. I don't even know she has spider powers. I honestly don't know much about Spider-Woman. I think.
Oh, come on, nerd.
What?
It's like, come on, nerd. You're supposed to know these things.
Hey, if you ask me about somebody in DC, I'm your man. But Marvel, I don't really know. I know a lot of people, but not everybody. And she's like probably a C-lister. If I'm being, so I don't know. And don't at me.
Is it because she's a woman?
What?
Is it because she's a woman?
No, it's just because really,
he's talking about like character popularity.
Yeah,
and they haven't defined if it's actually going to be Spider-Woman or a female Spider verse character. So it could be Spider-Gwen or Silk or any one of those. It's just going to be a female Spider type character, and it's going to be more likely part of the Venom cinematic movies than an actual Spider-Man movie. But it's
that's
a whole like side offshoot of Sony Spider movies.
Ron makes a good point when you say it's a Spider-Woman. Like that's there is a hero called Spider-Woman, but if you're just talking about a woman that has in the Spider-Man universe, well, that could be a number of.
I don't mean to brag, but I read 3 articles about this today, and they all had Spider-Woman with the hyphen and the W capitalized. So it seemed
Well,
like a character name, but
like I don't know much about her. I know that she was an agent of Shield for a bit. I don't know if that's like her main thing. Like I know she was kind of a spy type, and I think she can fly, and she's got like electrical bolts or something. I don't know. I really don't know much about her.
sounds dumb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More than likely, it'll probably be focused on one of the more popular female Spider characters like Spider-Gwen.
Well,
Spider Woman's not even a top 50 Spider Verse character.
I mean, I know that all female Spider-Verse characters pale in comparison to Peter Parker. But which Peter Parker in the movies has been your favorite? Is it Andrew Garfield? Is it Tom Holland? Is it Tobey Maguire? I want all of
Peter
you to answer.
Parker or favorite Spider-Man?
Oh, don't give me the Bruce Wayne Batman thing. Just
I mean, it's
who does it? Who does it
it's
best?
a fair thing to say.
Who does the whole package best? That's what I want.
I think that Andrew Garfield is definitely the best actor in the Spider-Mans, and I also liked that those movies were a little bit darker than the previous or the current versions. But I do think that Tom Holland is probably the more appealing of the all the other Spider portrayed characters.
I did not see Rob as an Amazing Spider-Man hype man. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Yeah. I think my favorite is Tobey Maguire. That third movie, is whatever. But I think it is garbage. But I think he's a better Peter Parker and a better Spider-Man.
You think he's better at both?
Yes.
Then why did you have me differentiate? Because if he was going to be your favorite on both of them.
I think he's a better Peter Parker. I think he's a great Spider-Man. He's probably the second best Spider-Man. But like Andrew Garfield with the quips and all that is a better Spider-Man.
So you don't have Tom Holland in either category. He's last in both, all of them?
Yeah, Yeah.
Man.
Because he's just he is Spider-Man, I guess, of a sorts, but like he's a Iron Man fanboy, and that's not really Spider-Man to me.
I mean, that's how the character's written. It's not necessarily his fault. But anyways, Dawson.
It's not his fault, but that's why I don't like him, I guess.
Dawson?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, okay. Reggie, funny you should say that Tobey Maguire is your favorite because he's in talks to return as Spider-Man.
In what form?
In Doctor Strange. In the multiverse, or whatever that's called.
Oh, yeah.
So they're talking to get him into that.
So Marvel is gonna beat DC to the multiverse. I just want to point out how funny it is that DC got beat to the big bad. Like, if DC came out with Darkseid right now, everybody would be like, "Well, you just copied Thanos," which is funny because Thanos was a copy of Darkseid.
And we get Darkseid on HBO Max with the Snyder Cut in a couple months.
Yeah. So and then the multiverse was kind of DC's thing, and DC is gonna get beat to it by Marvel. That's funny.
I mean, Marvel knows what they're doing. I'm here for it.
I mean, they do, and it just sucks because DC, they're so stupid. They're so dumb.
I may be dumb, but I'm not that dumb.
I love DC. They're my favorite comics. Like, of the big two, I love DC. They've got the better heroes, they got the better villains, they got the better stories. I don't know why they can only get that stuff to work on animated. Like, their animated universe is fucking amazing. It's amazing. But for some reason, their live action, they just can't get that shit together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it makes no sense.
So Tobey Maguire may be suiting up as Spider-Man in Doctor Strange.
Well, to Reggie's point, it's not DC's fault. It's Time Warner Studios' fault because they basically they don't know what they're doing with what they have, and this is the result of what happens when you don't know what you have. Whereas opposed to Marvel, Disney, they put Kevin Feige in charge of the whole thing, and he's been able to make the whole thing cohesive and have an appeal to the general audience. That's why they're so much more successful.
Well, but I think whenever you say DC in the movie sense, you're talking about Warner Brothers. It's not like there's no DC production company. It is Warner Brothers. DC's a shoot off. It's not like Disney purchased Marvel Studios. Like, it was its own entity, and they've allowed them to function as their own entity. The DC is Warner Brothers. So whenever you're talking about it in the movie sense, I mean, you can't really separate them because that's how it is. Would it be better for them if they could identify someone that could shepherd all of those movies and turn it into its own little insulated studio? Yeah, probably. But they're not going to do that. They've already proven they're not going to do that. They tried to do it a little bit with Zack Snyder. And I guess we'll find out how bad that got fucked up in a few months, as you said, Dawson, right? When's that come out on HBO Max?
2021, February or March, something like that.
First quarter, Q1.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what's coming out next week on August 28th? I don't have an alert sound, so I'll just use this.
Oh, that's so good.
New Mutants is coming out, and Reggie, at my IMAX theater, it's already sold out on opening night.
Okay.
So, are you still going to say it's not coming out at this point? Or are you jumping off of that train?
Do I need to commit to the bit?
Do you think something's going to happen between now and next week?
They're gonna open up with Unhinged, Russell Crowe's movie, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, we got to shut down theaters again," and New Mutants not coming out.
I can't wait until next week, whenever I can tell you that you've been wrong this whole time. I can't wait.
Point out that it is insane that movie was filmed 3-4 years ago now.
Yeah,
it's just now coming out.
Insane. Been delayed 5 different times. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's finally coming out. I can buy tickets to it right now if I wanted to. Renovations are complete.
Yeah, my local Regal Theater says it's opening that weekend too.
I hope they did some cool shit.
I know from the outside it looks like the same.
It's funny how that works. It's almost like there hasn't been anyone in there this whole time. It's weird.
Yeah.
I think AMC, or at least my AMC, is they're doing something where they're putting people plexiglass or something in between seats or something weird like that.
I like that.
I mean, who knows if that's whatever. And maybe we should talk about that since theaters are coming back. Because I put up a poll and I asked basically, with theaters coming back, are you going back? And it seems like for most people right now, the poll's still up. So by the time you hear this, you could probably still go and vote on it. But it seems like the general consensus is people are going to wait till next year, or in the leading winner right now is that people are going to wait till there's a vaccine. And I guess I know this isn't question of week territory, but how do you guys feel about that?
Bro. Just throwing question of the week out there, knowing I have a bit planned. What do you think's going on here? I mean, I'm in the 2021 camp, but I also feel like we're gonna have a vaccine at some point during 2021. So I don't know how to reconcile that, but I think at some point next year, I'll be ready.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sometime next year too, because I assume that we're gonna have a vaccine. Here's the thing for like AMC,
Rob.
if you're on the AMC Plus thing, you have till like the end of December to renew, and then if you don't cancel, it automatically renews, which is, I guess, a good thing. But like the thing is, if you do cancel, then you have to wait 6 months before you can sign up again. So like personally, for me, I'm just gonna wait till December, and then let it renew.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think by February, March, I will probably be like, I don't think that I'll be waiting until July to go back to the theaters. So
Agreed.
hopefully, knock on wood.
And honestly, I think I told you this privately. I'm willing to pay for A-List for a few months without using it, if that means that AMC is doing a little bit better, and A-List can stick around. Like, I worry that as maybe some people don't go back, things like that might. Will you stop getting candy out of that bag on mic? It's not too much to ask you to just mute the microphone. God damn. You fucking yellow M&M.
Yep.
I would be willing to pay into it without using it for a little bit, just because I like the service, and I've gotten way more than my money's worth out of it so far. So I'm not going to be.
I'm in the same boat.
Rob, when do you see yourself going back now that they're reopening?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Go explain. Go deeper.
Come on, give me something.
That's what she said.
Dawson.
I think Rob's. I'm
he muted to eat. Rob, you don't know. What's it gonna take? Do you need things to settle down? Do you need a good movie? Like, I'm curious.
Well, no, just gotta see how it it first turns out. Like, if it all goes well, then yes. If not, then no.
Okay. All right, Dawson, where are you at?
I don't know. I mean, I don't live in a big city, so there's a chance I could go see a movie Sunday night at 10 o'clock and be the only person there. So if I'm the only person there,
yeah. I mean,
that's a good point.
That's strong. I just hope they're cleaning everything like they say they are.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, I can bring my own stuff and wipe my seat down at a minimum, right?
Yeah, and I think the biggest concern is the recirculated air. I don't think the huge concern is surface, contact with surfaces. While it is something to think about, I don't think that's the major concern is the surfaces. So, I mean, I think we're all kind of in the same boat. I just wait to see what happens with Tenet. Because that's going to be the one movie that I'm bummed about.
Yeah, there are a lot of movies coming out now that I really want to see. I really want to see Tenet. I want to see Wonder Woman, and like I'm going to have to wait to see them on VOD or whatever. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be biting the bullet and spending $20 on all these movies I want to see. Maybe if we split them, I don't know. We're watching Bill and Ted 3 next week. Yeah. Already bought that bitch. $25. So, yeah.
And I saw an article today about how the movie chains are saying that they're passing the cleaning costs onto the customer. So like for instance, even when you go back to the theater, it's not gonna be the same experience, because you're not gonna be able to get like refills on stuff like that. On your popcorn and drinks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're gonna be not only can you not get as much, like refills and things like that, but then it's gonna cost you more.
I mean, I could not tell you the last time I got a drink or popcorn refilled at a movie.
I always get one refilled on the way out. just because I'm
just to stick it to him.
This.
Just to stick it to him. Just on principle.
I'm refilling this $5 cup.
You know my problem with that is those cups are giant and they don't fit in the cup holder of my car.
They don't. They don't, yeah.
That's my problem. All right, that does it for the news. Now it's time for...
It's the question of the week. Your answers we seek. Question of the week. Movies.
And the question of the week this week is, pretend as though you are directing a film. You have your cast, you have your story, you're filming. Who is the one person that you would like to do a cameo in your movie? Just a cameo.
I would say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think back. I'm trying to think of like Schwarzenegger cameos, and the one that comes to mind for me right now is The Rundown with The Rock.
Yeah,
and that seems
one of the best.
It kind of feels like a passing of the torch, right? From action hero to the new action hero. So yeah, that's probably the biggest Arnold cameo that I can think of right now. Can you guys think of any others, or what capacity would you like to have Arnold come in? Like, is it a comedic cameo? Is it just a holy shit that's badass cameo? Like, what are we doing?
I mean, he does really good.
Like how he showed up in what was that movie with Sylvester Stallone, The Expendables? Something like that.
Okay. All right.
Or like, see, they also had that I think the one movie with Chuck Norris where he just shows up in a couple of scenes and then that's it.
I wonder if you stole Dawson's answer. Did he steal your answer, Dawson?
No. I was going to say he was in a really good cameo in this movie called Killing Gunther.
That's not a cameo. That's not a cameo.
Doing that.
He was a great cameo in that movie.
If you're going to count that as a cameo, that's fantastic.
That's a cameo. I mean, he's not. He's in.
He's on the fucking poster.
He's in 4 minutes of the movie.
Dawson, do you have an answer for your cameo?
I think I would go with Bill Murray.
Zombieland, right?
Seems like that end of Zombieland 2 is awesome. And I just saw a trailer for a new Bill Murray movie today. And it's coming out on Apple Plus soon. It's Bill Murray and I'm drawing.
Thinking
On
Sounds.
the Rocks. It's called On the Rocks with Rashida Jones, yes, from Park and Rec.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's got some star power behind it.
Yeah.
Reggie? Cameo?
Really good question. You know what? Until recently, I would have said Ron Jeremy, but that guy apparently is a real fuckwad. So,
I mean,
wouldn't have thought that.
Who would have seen that coming?
Well, here's the thing: like Ron Jeremy is always doing these cameos in like weird movies, and just showing up. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with Danny Trejo.
Okay.
I would love Danny Trejo to show up in a movie for no reason. Yeah.
Okay. All right. If I were gonna have one person cameo in a movie that I was doing, it would be Chris Evans. Especially right now, because I think as he's leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe, sort of at the peak of his popularity, I think that he would be great. And he's showing, over the course of the last few things that he's done, like he's starting to show more of his range. And, I think if you get him in something and let him have fun, you're going to get magic out of him. If he's into it and you let him just have fun, I think that's gonna come up with a really, really fun little scene. I like it. So Chris Evans would be mine. I was gonna say Affleck, but I've already seen Affleck in, a couple Kevin Smith movies do a cameo, and they're always good. I like it when they break the fourth wall. That's anytime I have a cameo, I would have them break the fourth wall. That's what
I was thinking. Matt Damon too.
Matt Damon
would be on my list.
It's pretty good. Solid. It's a good list. cinemachatpod@gmail.com. Let us know who your cameo in your movie that you're directing would be. All right, guys. It's time for the feature presentation, I think.
Hell yeah.
And now, our feature presentation.
Where do you think they got the formula from? They have my daughter.
Maybe we can work together on this.
What do you need? You still got the pills on you?
It's about to get real noisy.
So that's your power.
First, we stabilize it. Then we weaponize it.
Power goes to where it always goes, to the people that already have it.
They think they can just test their product on my city? We'll let them see what happens.
I thought we were like Batman and Robin.
No, Batman and Robin, that's a movie. This is real life.
We doing this.
Tell me what my daughter is. Watch out! We're gonna end this.
It's time to rise. It's time to rise.
You need anything else?
No, I'm fine.
Yes, you are.
And we are here to talk about the Netflix original movie Project Power. Directed by Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman. Written by Mattson Tomlin. Starring Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Dominique Fishback, Courtney B. Vance, Machine Gun Kelly, and a whole bunch of other people that I don't think you would be able to pick out of a lineup. So, here we are yet again, renovations and whatnot, reviewing a Netflix original movie. And Netflix original movies in the past with this podcast have been a bit divisive, I guess you could say, between the hosts. So, Project Power, movie about a drug that gives you a superpower for 5 minutes after you take it. You have 5 minutes, you don't know what your power is going to be, and there's also the possibility that you could explode. So, there's a risk involved in taking it. And Jamie Foxx is on a mission to save his daughter and to stop the people making this drug. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a cop. Dominique Fishback is a high school student who is also a drug dealer and a rapper and our heroine, as it turns out. So, right off the bat, Reggie, I'm not going to start with you. Dawson. Initial reactions. Were you excited coming in? And what were some of your initial thoughts? Real high level stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, the trailer looked good. I wanted to see it. going into it, I was excited. Yeah, excited to see it. I cheated. I kind of watched it in the beginning. I have a history of falling asleep and watch parties, and I didn't want to miss this one because I was excited to see it, and I didn't think I wasn't gonna have time to watch it if I fell asleep. So I kind of watched it, not paid attention. I missed a ton of details, so the second showing was much better. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. It's not a blockbuster. If I saw this in theaters, I'd probably be bummed out. But again, I'm watching it at home, so I'm good with it.
Okay, Rob. First of all, did you watch the movie? I always like to ask you that because I don't know. You're muted.
Yeah, I did watch the movie,
and
I did enjoy it. I thought it was going to be similar to like that Limitless movie with the whole, you pop a pill and then the hilarity ensues. But then I think it did play it a little bit smart. I would have liked Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character to have started interacting a lot sooner. I thought they played well together. The main female lead, I thought she was. I mean, acting wise, she was okay, but story wise, I think that her character was a little bit too much all over the place. It felt very much like a movie of the week to me, and yeah, it was well done, and I was quite surprised.
I was excited about it, but Dominique Fishback, I actually loved her and loved her performance. The one that I didn't like was Jamie Foxx. I don't like his character. I don't really, he's fine, but he does. I know Jamie Foxx is a terrific actor. He's a great actor. But in this movie, I only see Jamie Foxx. And whenever I only see Jamie Foxx and I don't like the character, that's like he's the weakest part of the movie for me. Storyline wise, and
Jamie Foxx?
I didn't like him in it. He's fine. I know he can do so much better. And I just see I watched an interview with him on Jimmy Fallon promoting this. And it's weird because they're doing the like Zoom interview style things. And he always has this bit where whenever he's doing interviews, like you can tell that it's genuine, but he's playing it up, like he's making himself bigger than he actually is. Like he's projecting star quality and putting performance into his interviews. And I didn't feel like what he did in this movie was all that much different from what he does whenever he's being interviewed by any number of reporters. I just didn't think, for Jamie Foxx, I didn't think it was that special of a performance. I thought he kind of went through the motions with it.
Okay.
Now, your turn, Reggie.
My initial thoughts are, let me just get this rant out of the way real quick. I sick and tired of seeing like this type of movie, and what I mean is like it's another movie where like the black kid has to try and escape from the ghetto, and there are drugs involved or rap. The only thing they didn't have was she's a great basketball star or whatever. And then it was at times trying to be woke, but then not being woke at all. Like there's one scene where Jamie Foxx is like, this system is created to destroy you and spit you out and shit like that, and which is a truth, but it felt like they added that in because of the times. Like somebody, like they made this movie and then they were like, yo, we got to read the room. and they went in and tried to fix some of the shit that's really fucked up. And like for instance, there's one scene where I was like, I almost stopped watching the movie because it's like he is basically torturing her mentally, and he kidnaps her off the street, and like there's been a problem, at least recently, something that people have really been speaking about is how like all these black kids go missing and nobody does anything about it, and like it doesn't get said in the news and things like that. And he basically used that against her, and it was like, this is supposed to be our hero. Like, I don't see how I'm supposed to root for him after that moment. And I never really come back around to rooting for him, because it's like he knows what happened to his daughter, so he's going to do that to somebody else. And it's like, this is a 16-year-old girl, and it's just like, I just hate seeing shit like that. And it's like that, like, I just don't think that would ever happen to like another actress. Like Millie Bobby Brown would never be in a movie where they would never do something like that to like Millie Bobby Brown in a movie, I don't think. I don't know. So like, all that aside, this movie still has its own problems. Like it does, I think, like Rob said, it's kind of movie of the week. It's nothing really special about it. It's kind of all over the place. Like, you don't really understand who the bad guys are. They never really interact. And then I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, I think he does well in the movie for the most part. It's like he's obviously putting his best foot forward, but I feel like his character was not necessary for the plot whatsoever. Like, this movie could have done without him at all and not lost anything.
I want to go back to something you said, because I found it interesting that you picked Millie Bobby Brown, because the character that she's best known for is a character that is taken away from their mother, put into a hospital, has all kinds of tests and things that are designed to break her down mentally and abuse her. And then she gets loose. She's tormented by a demogorgon, and then hid away from everyone in the hills with a sheriff who is a drunk bastard.
But it's not really the same. Like for instance, you look at look at her role in Godzilla. She basically creates a human genocide, an extinction level event, and she's supposed to be the person that we're all rooting for. I just feel like it's just not really. I don't know. Like, I would like to see a movie where there's a kid in it of color that doesn't have to deal with being tortured or drugs or rap or something or trying to escape. It's like, it's just, that story's old, and I don't know why Hollywood feels the need to keep going there. Like, that's the only time they can tell a story.
Well, I would say, except for what they say, through dialogue, this movie doesn't really show like that she needs to get out. The only thing in the movie that shows that she needs to get out is the fact that people are saying, like, this is your ticket out. This is the way you get out. There's nothing in the movie that tells me that she wants to get out or is trying to get out, other than people telling her that she needs to get out.
That's what she was rapping to try and get out. That's why she was selling drugs to get out.
Okay. All right.
That was the whole point of all that.
Okay.
But wasn't like the rap, like, wasn't that her like daydream?
Yeah.
But she didn't do it.
Well, she does it later on with Jamie Foxx. But I'm just saying.
She does it later on, right? But like,
right.
Because the teacher's challenging her, calling her out, in her brain, that's what she wants to do, but she doesn't.
But I guess on the drugs to help her mother out who doesn't have health insurance.
I guess what I'm trying to say, Reggie, is that they didn't need to put that in the movie. It really doesn't enhance the story whatsoever. They can have this movie without having you need to get out of the ghetto storyline, or you need to get out by rap. This, not to mention, this girl, in addition to being a rapper, Can also stitch up wounds because her mom works with
Right.
the vet. She's the fucking guy in the chair, computer
Yeah,
girl.
and that's my point.
She's everything.
She's a tech person. She's a medic. You know, like I assume she's an engineer too, because apparently she can. You know, like she's a racer. You know, like she's got all these skill sets, but you know they focus on the rap. Like, why?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. They don't need to focus on that. They don't need to have her get out. Like, it's not. It doesn't have to be integral to the story, because if you take those bits of the storyline out, it doesn't really change the movie whatsoever. It doesn't change anything. You still have the same movie. You don't have to have it. And like you said, I do agree with you that the parts that they have that are trying to speak to the climate right now, like you said, read the room, whenever they put those in there, it does play like, you know,
it was an afterthought.
like an after school special.
Like, yeah, because there's a moment where the main villain is like, yeah, we experimented on she was basically saying like experimenting on people is okay, and like they were trying to, again, I felt like they were trying to have a woke moment where they were like trying to explain to people who don't know that, you know, experimentation on people is something that happens quite frequently or something. And I was like, what is the point of all this? You know, like they didn't earn that moment, I guess is what it is. There are a bunch of unearned moments that obviously were just thrown in there at the last minute because somebody was like, this looked really bad if we release this in 2020 and don't talk about this stuff.
I will say, as much of a problem as I have with some of the story and some of the plot, and like you said, I agree with you. There are some unearned moments. There's still a lot of really cool stuff, like just visually cool stuff, like neat ideas in here. Whenever you look at it from like, I don't know, a superhero type movie sense, like there's some cool stuff in here. So I go back and forth. I'm like on a seesaw with this movie because I like a lot of things that they do, but there's also some things I'm like, you could have cut that out. We don't need that. I don't know why Joseph Gordon-Levitt can't pick an accent and stick with it in the movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, I've never heard anyone go in and out of an accent as much as he does in this.
It's a superpower.
It's crazy. And he's a good actor too. Like, he just, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was almost like they shot the first half of the movie and then took a break and then came back and they're like, you know, you should really do like a Louisiana Bayou accent. You should do that. He's like, but no, just go ahead and do it. We'll cut. And, you know, you got half of the movie with him with an accent and half of the movie without, but they shot it unsequentially. So it's just like a scene here, a scene there. Like, it just goes back and forth. That's what it felt like to me, because he is going in and out of that thing more than Andrew Lincoln in The Walking Dead. Like, he's just all over the place.
I wonder if it was a reshoot thing, like there were reshoots for this, and he just forgot the accent.
He forgot the accent.
How'd it go again?
And no one told him. He's like, you know, maybe could I watch like a couple scenes that I've already shot, so maybe I could remind myself of the accent. They're like, you got it. Don't worry about it. You're a professional. You're a pro. Just go do it. Just go do it. And he's like, all right, I guess I got it. Guess what? He don't got it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of two minds with it. Because what the movie does have is Machine Gun Kelly on fire, fighting Jamie Foxx.
Machine Gun Kelly.
He's a rapper.
Is he someone famous that I should know? Because everyone talks about, you know, like, oh, Machine Gun Kelly, Machine Gun Kelly. I was like, I have no clue who that is.
He's a
should
rapper.
I be ashamed of that?
He used rap to get out of his circumstances. He's a rapper. But he's a rapper turned actor. And I think everything I've seen, I've always enjoyed him in the things I've seen him in. He's been in Nerve and The Dirt on Netflix, the Motley Crue movie. He played Tommy Lee. He's been in a few different things, and I've always enjoyed his performances. I think he's like legitimately a good actor. Mm-hmm. Anytime I see him pop up, I'm like, oh, hey, little MGK action. I like it. I'm in on it.
Okay.
As soon as I saw he was in it, I was like, okay, cool. I wish he'd been in it more. I think he's going to be big one day, though. as far as acting goes.
I have to say that fight scene with him and Jamie Foxx's character in the beginning was probably the best one of the whole movie.
I think it's no mistake that it's in the trailer.
That's probably what they spent the most money on.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Probably is.
There's no doubt that that's what they spent the most money on. I agree with you. I think it's the coolest moment in the movie. They kind of start you off on that high note and then seemingly back you down throughout. And then I think the payoff at the end, I don't want to spoil it and talk about what it is, but I thought the last powers were kind of anticlimactic. I mean, I was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess that happened. That's a thing. That was sort of my thought on it. It just didn't seem like it wasn't the payoff I wanted, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, the more I talk about it, I'm dropping more and more on it the more I actually sit down and talk about it. Like, I've sat on it for a week, and I was like, that was a fun watch. And it was a fun watch. But whenever I sit there and really think about it, it's not very good. It's weird, though, because I would watch it again.
Yeah, I would watch it again. If you had gone to AMC to sit down in theater with your popcorn and your drink and watch this movie, how would you feel about it?
I mean, I've seen a lot worse in the theater. I saw 90 movies in 2019 in the theater. At this point, bad movies don't faze me.
I guess for me, what it comes down to
don't shake your head, Dawson.
If like AMC was like if AMC was like not AMC, if Netflix was like a normal production studio, I would have stopped watching their movies a long time ago. You know, like if Netflix was like, I don't know, Blumhouse or something, or like A24, I'd be like, I'm not watching another Netflix movie. But the only reason I watch them is because I pay for the service.
You still watch DC movies.
But again, I don't know if that's really the same.
It's the same, but different.
But different.
Yeah. But still the same.
Because like
go ahead.
Because like I don't know. Like, here's the thing. DC movies I have no hope for. And if we weren't doing the show, I probably would not. Yeah, I probably wouldn't watch them. Like, I have no hope for this Flash movie. I don't want to watch it. And the only reason I watched Birds of Prey, I was pleasantly surprised with it. But the only reason I watched it is because we were doing it for the show.
Now, but I think that you would eventually watch it. I think that you have enough skin in the game with the comic books that you're sold through that. I think if it were characters that you didn't know, you might have jumped off board with them. But I think the fact that you love DC Comics so much is enough to have you keep coming back. Even though you feel like you wouldn't, I don't think you could pass them up.
Maybe, but I think again that's why it's kind of different because I've got skin in the game with DC, but like I don't have skin in the game for Netflix.
Except that you pay for it every month.
Yeah, true. But I mean, if I had to see it in theaters, if I had to get in my car to go see these movies, I wouldn't.
You've given more money to Netflix than you have Warner Brothers DC. Think about that.
True.
Think about that.
That's true. You're not wrong.
All right. Anybody got anything else that you wanted to bring up, wanted to talk about, wanted to discuss?
What else is there? Yeah, I think this movie was just a bit too disconjointed. I didn't really. I mean, we understood what the bad guys' motives were, but we never actually see the bad guys much. You know, like they just tell us what they're all about, as opposed to showing us what they're all about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then when we do see them, they're so cookie cutter, stereotypical bad guys. I was like, okay.
Dude, I don't even remember what they look like.
Yeah. And then, like, they had funky powers too, but it felt like everybody were X-Men rejects. Like, their powers were kind of lame, and I kind of wish that their power had stuck around for more than 5 minutes. Like, the whole 5-minute limitation kind of makes it, I don't know, it's weird because it's like, how much can you do in 5 minutes? They seem to, like, do a lot, but then if you don't know what your power is...
Well, you have to give them... First of all, every power is an X-Men power at some point. Try to come up with a power that an X-Men character doesn't have. And then you can't give them the cool powers because all the major characters have those powers. Like, you get the one guy that grows the bones out of his arms, and immediately everyone's like, oh, fucking Wolverine reject. That's why you gotta give them the lesser known character powers, because you don't want them to immediately be compared to the major X-Men. So you have to try to do something like that. But whenever you say they're all X-Men powers, every power is an X-Men power.
No, I didn't say X-Men powers. I meant like X-Men rejects. Like, these are the guys that didn't make it to.
But that's what I'm saying. The plane. You can't give them like laser eye because everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're just doing Cyclops.
But I think here's the thing: when you're doing superpowers, like I think people are more forgiving when you do superpowers because there's only so many superpowers that you can have. So like I don't think everybody. Well, I take that back. People are. I was gonna say. I saw those wheels turn and then just like stop and reverse. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, you know what? People would just be like, oh, this weak ass Wolverine, this week. Yeah, you're right.
Well, they were even in the watch party. Like, as soon as that guy had the bone shoe nose, I was like, oh, look at this dumbass Wolverine ripoff. Immediately, before anything happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that happened in our little, 8-person watch party, just imagine the amount of people that were immediately, like, turned off by that. So. All right. Are we ready to get to some scores?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Like I said, I had problems with the movie, just like the whole premise of it. I thought the premise was interesting. I just don't like any of the characters really. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is good in it. He's chewing up the scenery, but it's not good scenery for him to chew. So it's a weird movie. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody just because I think it's just a boring movie. You know what? I take that back. Here's the thing. I'm conflicted. I don't have a high bar for the Netflix movies. I don't think Netflix has done anything so far to... There are a lot of people in Hollywood that give a lot of shade to Netflix movies and think that they're not real movies. And movies like this do not help their case whatsoever. I would give this movie a 4 out of 10.
Okay. See, you lose me whenever you go to like, this is people talking about how they're not real movies and then this doesn't help. Because first of all, I hate when people feel like they're the arbiters of like, this is real art and this is fake art, or like this is not a movie. This is like, come on, you're not the. I'm not speaking to you. I'm talking to all those people as a whole. Like, you're not the person that gets to decide whether or not this 90-minute movie is actually a movie or not. Like, it's a fucking movie. Shut up about it. I hate when people do that.
I guess what I'm talking about is like, there's a difference between a movie like Tenet, or even a Fast and the Furious movie, and a movie like what was that movie I talked about? Hold on, that I watched, like the Netflix. Hold on.
Okay, while you're trying to think of that, I will say I agree that there's a difference between this and Tenet. Tenet is probably going to be a masterful movie, a film. But there's absolutely no difference between this and Bloodshot, which got a theatrical release, and people aren't going around saying that's not a movie. There's no difference.
Okay. The movie I was talking about was Rogue Warfare, which I watched last week or whatever. Like, there's a difference between a movie that's consistently putting out a Bloodshot or a Rogue Warfare versus a studio that puts out their tentpole movie or puts out their Tenet movie. You know, like Netflix, their scorecard right now is more bad movies than good, and like it's because they're not good quality movies. Like they're straight to DVD movies is really what they are, or straight to streaming. These movies wouldn't make money if they were put out in theaters, and I think that's what these people who are quote unquote arbiters of art are talking about. They're like they're not good movies, but they want to be in the same category of people that make good movies.
And I say fuck them because they don't get to decide that. That's ridiculous. You don't get to decide what's a movie and what's not just because you made a fucking movie, Martin Scorsese. Like, you don't get to decide that, Steven Spielberg. Fuck you, get off your high horse. That's the dumbest shit. I hate it. Anyway, this is not a great movie. It's not bad. Like, I don't hate it. Like I said, it's not a good movie, but I would watch it again. And there are movies that are probably better than this that I wouldn't watch again. So I don't know. There's something to be said for the entertainment value of it. But it's a lot of it's not earned. It's not exactly cohesive. The performances are from kind of cookie cutter from good to great actors. So they're not bad, but I expect more out of those people. So it's not great, but it's not like it's not a movie. I'll tell you that. I would give it a 5.5. And I came into this thinking I was going to give it like a 6.5 or a 7. Like all week I was like, you know what? That movie wasn't that bad. And then we started talking about it, like, you know what? That movie is not that good. So I'll give it a 5.5, but I think people need to be really fucking careful about deciding what's a movie and what's not a movie, because I don't like that. He don't like it.
He don't like it.
Rob, what's your score?
Yes, I'll go next. I'm kind of in the same boat with you guys that if they would have made it for a theatrical release, I think it would have gone one way, and then because it's for Netflix, it was done another way. So it wasn't held to the same standard. And it kind of, like I mentioned before, it feels like a movie of the week, like you would see on regular broadcast television. And I have a feeling that they're kind of setting up for maybe a series at some later point in time. The same thing for some other stuff I've seen on Netflix. And I don't like that they do that. This is like one of those movies, like if you have it at home, you would be fast forwarding it to skip certain points in the film where the pacing is just comes to a dead stop. And the premise is pretty good, but I think that they executed it poorly. And it's not the actor's fault. It's, the director, writer, whatever, not putting like something cohesive together that flows properly. But I didn't regret watching it. I think it's okay for Netflix. It's definitely worth a watch. But like Reggie said, if like this definitely wouldn't come out of theaters, that's for sure. And that's why I was leaning towards a 6, but like now after talking about it, I'm gonna go with a 5 out of 10.
Okay. And I think we're gonna come to our highest score here.
No, probably not.
No? Okay.
No, I mean, it was okay. Talking to you guys about it, I think I get excited about the new movies because it's a new movie, something we haven't seen yet. So that brings me up. But talking about it, yeah, it was okay. Even when we were watching it, we were talking about the plot holes, and there were some things in it that didn't make a lot of sense, and it took it down. It's okay. I'm probably never going to watch this again. Reggie, I did want to ask you, if I had to make you watch a movie again, would you watch this or Swiss Army Man again?
Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, me too. So I don't.
You gave a lower
Army
score
Man.
to Swiss Army Man.
What was that?
You gave a lower score to Swiss Army Man.
You did. You gave it a 3, I think.
But Swiss Army Man, I think I would watch it again because I think the way it ends, even though I hated the way it ends, it still would be watching it. It would almost be watching a different movie. You know, in the same way that like you watch The Sixth Sense in a different way when you come to the end.
That's such a cop-out answer, though. I would watch it again because I want to see it through new eyes.
I mean, they both define cinema. So,
I mean, I like it. I like that you found your way out of that, but
so I mean, all around, yeah, it's all right. Definitely, yeah, listening to you guys definitely brought it down. I think going into this, I was like a 6.5, but yeah, I'm gonna fall in there with you guys. It's a 5.5.
Okay. All right. Well, that is, gosh, what is that? 5, a 5.5, 2 5.5 is a 5 and a 4. That's a 5. A combined 5 average. It's not good for Project Power.
This movie's so average; it hardly has any facts in it. So
It's not crazy.
that's how you know it's
And that's a
average. I didn't get
fact.
to do my
That's a fact.
stupid bit at all this episode.
And whenever he says that, it's because he didn't take the time to find them.
No, I got it pulled up. It's nothing. It's
They're
not,
just not good.
even the bit's like, hey, did you know there's a thing that was kind of like Dirty Harry in this movie?
All right. Well, next week we're going to be doing another new movie. This movie's getting released in theaters, though. We're going to be watching Bill and Ted Face the Music. So I guess there's not going to be any argument. What?
When are we doing that?
Next week.
What are we doing this week?
No, we're
What are we
watching.
watching
We're watching
tomorrow?
it Friday. Oh,
Tomorrow night?
no, you're right.
No, we're not watching it tomorrow night.
Shit. All right.
Ruh-roh.
Well, we're doing
It's
Old
supposed
Guard.
to be the Old Guard.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
the Old Guard. That's what Rob picked.
Something's fucked up on my chart then. All right.
I think it's your brain.
No,
And your mind.
the dates are off. Anyways, I can talk about that off the show. Anyways, we're doing Old Guard on Netflix next week. Another Netflix original movie that wasn't good enough to get a theatrical release. We'll be reviewing that next week. So I want to thank everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
You don't need to follow me. You don't need to follow anybody.
But you can follow us. I'm Brent, and I am...
Ed's not Malcolm.
And he's Rob, and he's...
Rob 1.
There's also Reggie, who is...
Hit dog.
We can't forget about Dawson at...
Andy!
Underscore. Dawson.
Don't forget to follow the podcast at CinemaChatPod on Twitter. And check out our website, cinemachatpodcast.podbean.com.
I'm following you now. I'm just gonna follow you everywhere. I'm just gonna follow you the rest of my life.
Thanks, Peter. Now, if the rest of you would get off your ass and follow us, that would be great.
Man,
Oh, and don't forget to send your emails to cinemachatpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Please, send us something. Have a good week, everyone. Goodbye. You know, Reggie, Dawson watched that movie before we did for the watch party, and he said, "There's no way that Reggie's not going to like this movie, so we should come in and talk massive shit about it." And then you come in the chat, and you're just like, "You know what? Real deal. Fuck this movie. I'm about to stop watching it." I was like, "Oh shit! Abort! Abort!"
But like I said, in my defense, I had it on in the background because I didn't want to pay too much attention to it. I didn't even know I didn't know who his daughter was going into the second viewing. So that's how little I paid attention to the first one. I was like, he has a daughter? That's how little I paid attention.
We were going to try to fuck you up.
But we were going to mess you up. We were going to come here and talk all this shit about it. We should have done the opposite. We should have just flipped it and just
talked about how much you loved it.
Yeah, we should have talked about how much we loved it. And I just
really pissed you off.
I played the outro too soon. I thought we were done.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.